If you're a heating air conditioning technician or even a salesperson, what are the steps for you to take if you're going to do a price match, and why does this matter? This is a super important question. I'm Sylvan Bell, coming to you live from Sacramento, California on a perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about you. When I talk about a perfect day, today is warm. I got the windows down. The sun's about to go down. Perfect day. I've got 5 things for you. 5 steps you need to know about when dealing with price matching. And your company may or may not allow it. And I want to let you know that this took a lot of trial and error on my part. So I am distilling some information that will really help you out. So let's just say for a minute, your company does allow for you to price match. Fantastic. Okay, that's what you do. Not knocking it, not saying it's good, not saying it's bad. It is what it is. You get to price match. So let's say that you make a deal with a buyer. You're at 20 grand. They want you to price match at 18, and you get authorization to do that, right? There's got to be a little bit of pushback there, because if you say yes too quickly, the people are going to have like this thing, like if you said yes too fast, you said yes too fast. I want more of a discount. Okay. So number one, if I was sitting with you and you said, hey Scott, I want you to price match, you're at 20. The scope of work really needs to be the same. So first and foremost, confirm the scope of work is exactly the same, because if they're not doing something, I'm going to charge my price for it. So I have a scope of work that includes a disconnect, an electrical circuit that they don't, random number. Let's say it's $350. I'm adding that back in. So my scope of work, I'm going to pencil out and say, hey, their scope of work isn't exactly the same as mine, right? Like we're going to confirm that this is all exactly the same. And if it is, then you're going to congratulate them. Congratulations, you've gotten my best deal. And you just stop talking. You let them talk, okay? You let them talk. And the reason for this is you need this conversation for later, okay? Number 2, everything gets written down, right? Price match for XYZ reason, authorization by XYZ person. All promos and discounts have been applied. All promos and discounts have been applied. You need this for later on down the road. You do, right? All promos and discounts have been applied. So inevitably what's going to happen is this conversation doesn't end. People who like to do price matching get dopamine rushes from doing deals and making deals happen that they shouldn't, okay? Human nature, not knocking it. It's like saying, hey, the sun is out, right? So let's look. Oh, yep, the sun is out. It's a nice day here in Sacramento. It's a nice warm day in Sacramento, which is my favorite. I hate being cold. Okay, so you're gonna lock it down. All promos and discounts have been applied. This is in writing. Super important. In Spanish, super importante. Okay, and this is why you should join HVAC Tech Secrets. I'll give you the goods, not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel. Number 3, on the documentation, have the buyer initial or sign somewhere that all promos and discounts have been applied, right? All promos and discounts have been applied. And then number 4, number 4 is important. You are going to wait to get the text message, the phone call, or the email from the price matcher going, hey, I want to renegotiate my deal. I want to change up the deal. I want you to price match something different. I found a promo online. I found a coupon online. On a Wednesday on a full moon, I stubbed my toe getting out of bed and I want more money off. And so this buyer's remorse is normal. It's normal because this is a common trait of a price shopper, right? Every buyer has a makeup. Every buyer has a common trait. Not saying it's bad. This is just who the person is. So if you've taken a part of my step number 2 and my number 3 of confirming all discounts and promos have been applied and you've got initials, you now have recourse to go back, right? We're going to go back and say, hey, we had a conversation when I was at your home, when I was at your property, when I was on the phone, before we did the DocuSign, that all discounts and promos have been applied. This is where it's at, right? I wish in this world that we could go back and renegotiate a deal. And typically, this is the buyer that is going to be upset about everything after the job's done, and they're going to nitpick. You scratched up a corner on my wall. You left a mark on my carpet. You made my neighbor angry. Your team got my bathroom dirty. Your truck parked in front of my house and my neighbors are complaining. Like, some of them legitimate, some of them are like, are you freaking kidding me? This is what you're going to complain about? And realize that if you lock them down within number 2 and number 3, that what's going to happen is the negotiation is going to happen after the install. They're going to find a reason to not be happy, right? And you're going to have to figure out whatever you want to do. Now, I remember a time, I live here in Sacramento, that when I was a manager, a salesperson sold a job, and we screwed up as a company. The company I work for screwed up. They did. The company I work for screwed up. Imagine that. We're human beings, right? Imagine that they screwed up. So I go out to the property owner's house, and the guy is telling me all these things. And, you know, me, let's say it's a $20,000 job. I go to him and I go, hey, in your mind, what is all of this valued at? Okay. What is all this valued at? And let's say he says $1,000. So I confirm. So for $1,000, we're all good. And he goes, yeah, we're all good. So we write up an agreement. This is super important too. Write up an agreement and say, hey, all promos and discounts have been applied. So 2 days later, I get a phone call from this guy, Scott. I'm really upset. I'm angry. We need to talk about this money situation. And I go, hey, time out. Say his name's Tom. Tom, hang on. I've got my documentation right here. And it's the one that you signed that said all discounts and promos have been applied to alleviate your problem. And this is what he said. Had I would have known that, I wouldn't have signed that documentation because I really wanted more off, right? There are buyers out there that never plan on sticking to the deal that you made. And I shot a video about this. I'll put it in the description below, that this buyer really screws up salespeople because, like, in your mind, you're like, I've done everything I was supposed to do. I'm dealing with something irrational. You're dealing with human nature that you're not going to fix. So here's what you do. You either figure out how you're going to take care of it, and you write down the notes, okay? This is super important too. You write down the notes on a piece of paper, and then you take this piece of paper, right? There's no notes on here. And you crumple it up. And you scream and yell at this piece of paper. You suck. I don't like you. Whatever it needs to be. And then you take it and you throw it away and you move on with your life. Because this buyer pre-planned this. It's insanity. They pre-planned it. They were going to do this anyway, right? No matter what you would have done, no matter what thing you put in place, they're going to try to game the system. So here's what you do. One, you know, explain everything that they're getting. 2, like 1.5, congratulate them. This is the best deal. You've got the best deal. 2, write it and lock it down. All promos and discounts have been applied. 3, confirm that the buyer has signed and initialed on the notes. 4, wait for buyer's remorse, because it's going to happen. I promise you. Buyer's remorse is going to pop up and they're going to wish they got a better deal and they want to renegotiate. And then 5, rely on step number 2 and number 3, but know that there's going to be complaints. And then bonus number 6 is you write down all the problems and all the issues. You scream and yell at that piece of paper, you crumple it up and you throw away, and you realize that this one buyer is the dude, the chick, that will pull you off your mission and purpose. This is the one person that will screw you up more than anything else, and you got to let it go, right? You just kind of got to laugh. Human nature. I'm dealing with cheapskate Charlie. I'm dealing with cheapskate Chelsea, and you just move on, right? Don't call people and complain, right? You just realize that 1 in every 100 times you meet with cheapskate Charlie or cheapskate Chelsea, and this is the game that they're going to play with you. They pre-plan it. They get their dopamine rush. They get their rocks off, their jollies off, whatever way you want to explain it. Probably not the best way to say it, but I'm Scott Sylvan Bell. I screw up on average 4 times a day. You got 1 or 2 things to do from here. Just 1 or 2. Find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an update or hit follow. Just want to let you know I appreciate you. Thanks for watching.